Hey guys, welcome back to Free Running. This time we're going to level 8, the building site. Inside Blink Tester Bio Enchanted.
I forgot to look into whether the game's soundtrack was available.
This level is the largest in the entire game.
Alright. Oh shit, I feel like I'm about to lay down a hit freestyle. When I'm on the mic, I'm like,
by the way, I came down here on purpose because I accidentally did it once, and I was like, this is a much better place to do tricks and stuff because it's much more open, even though there's still way too much shit down here.
Yeah. So
up there, it's a very small, narrow corridor, very easy to screw up.
So how far do you really have to fall before you really get hurt? Because it's like you just hop down a couple stories and you're just like, gotcha fam, and you're rolled out.
It's considered breakfall.
I guess so.
Game logic.
Axe kick, more like ass kick.
Yeah.
You guys kicking some ass.
The bottom floor of the level, the previous area was the middle floor, and there's also a variety of different top floors.
But shit, yeah, you got like so much free space over in here.
That was a close one. I very nearly crashed into that lamppost. This lower area is kind of annoying because there's a few little jumps and stuff, and like almost all the races start down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you doing? Playing another song from my freestyle?
Also, I quite like that crane because there's some stuff you do with that.
It looks like somebody named Wolf Dragon on YouTube has a playlist called Free Running OST.
Yeah.
Huh.
And I think this is the soundtrack.
Yeah.
From
by the way,
running.
This particular challenge can be quite unintuitive with where you're meant to actually go. Because you don't think to come this way first, because it's a bit out the way. You think you're just wasting time, but if you do it this way, you can then get on that pole from here. Because I went the other way before, whenever I was practicing it, trying to get back into what to do here. And so I took this part of the course backwards, and was impossible to get the rest of the those two that were down there, because you can't get down there from up here very easily at all. Even if you hang off the ledge, you'll still grab onto the pole above the pole you need to be on.
I'll understand what you're saying as soon as the camera backs up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those fireworks, man.
Seriously, this soundtrack's getting like more techno as it goes along.
Yeah. Well, we're at a construction site, so technology makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's using laser.
Seriously, I'm expecting like a rave to break out.
Yeah. But you'll see how big this level is. The big race here goes around literally every obstacle on this whole fucking level.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
That's why it's a 4-minute long thing. You first, it's like you go down the thing, starting down at the bottom of the shipping crates in the bottom area. You go up kind of to the middle area, do the left-hand building stuff, and then you go back down again to the bottom area for a bit. Like at least you travel across it. And then go back up the right-hand building and then do a part with really bad camera angle to get to the final area, which we haven't seen yet, but you'll see in a few minutes when I get to it.
You know,
this jump here is kind of weird because you have to kind of be at the bottom of this pole before you jump off on the right, otherwise you're going to miss the pole because it's too low down, the other little sliding thing. That's a very weird one, I don't know why that jumps like that.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at this and it seems like the two key differences that make the 2008 Prince of Persia work while this kind of feels clunky is that, one, the 2008 Prince of Persia isn't super precise with its button presses. I mean, if you're supposed to hit circle when you reach a certain obstacle on the wall,
you can hit it a few seconds before, can't you?
Reach it, and your character will automatically do it. And that's maybe not such a good thing because it's a little bit too easy.
That one has very little leeway.
Yeah, in this game you have to be precise with every button press.
But I do quite like
the camera in the 2008 game. It pulls back for things like this. So it's basically a fixed camera angle to show you several obstacles in a row, as opposed to being this close to the dude all the time.
I do like this method of getting down the building, so this is pretty dope. Just sliding down like every part of the building.
That is pretty dope.
Not very good for construction
Imagine if fire escapes were like that.
This is a weird jump though, because you have to remember to hold hit X at the right time to perfect land on it, or you'll trip on the thing.
See, like
these look like a bunch of routes that you're like inventing on the spot.
Yeah, this is one of the routes that appears in a couple of the races here, but again, those races get really long here, because it's such a big level, and there's a lot to do here, so you end up going everywhere. Yeah. And these kind of weird little, these little office building things are really annoying to navigate sometimes if you forget the best ways to get up them. Because normally you get up and fire that outside fencing area by jumping from that onto the roof, but if you get into the maze, it can kind of be hard to remember what kind of jumps to do.
Yeah.
And I mean, these routes that you're taking, again, seem like things that you would kind of have to know were there before going in, and because of that, that means like if you're trying to learn it by trial and error, you're talking about falling down to the ground and then getting all the way back up and learning one more thing.
Because this was the thing I'd forgotten about how to get up there, and I've panned out of it. It's like, oh right, there's those poles up there. You wall one and hop up to those. That's how you get back up to the middle area.
Yeah, see, like, I didn't see those poles at all. And, you know, if this game were in first person, like Mirror's Edge, then you could look around and see what's available to you.
It would also be much harder in first person, to be honest.
It would be harder in first person with all the spinning and flipping you do. Yeah. But, given how Mirror's Edge is designed to be in first person,
so it doesn't have that much spinning and flipping, Yeah.
Like, in a better game that would be like this, you'd kind of have the sort of more obvious intended lines, but if you really knew the level, you'd have the tricky lines you could make.
This area is really annoying because you see those poles that have both vertical and cross poles, they're both kinds. So you can accidentally grab a vertical pole when you're trying to grab a horizontal one, or vice versa, and then not being able to get where you're trying to go, because you're too low down or too high up.
Right.
So this area is kind of the biggest pain in the arse to navigate for a lot of the challenges that are here. There's also a lot of the places here I don't touch the ground, and that's just a bit annoying here.
But to continue what I'm saying, you know, maybe you'd have the more obvious lines, but then you'd have ones that you invent yourself, and it would feel like you invented them yourself,
even if the developers didn't intend it.
Like with that Tony Hawk game, where you can put your own routes down at times, like letting your own challenges. You're putting your own little ramps down and stuff.
Oh, that was a Shaun White game, wasn't it?
Like the one where you grind the rails and they just like materialize in front of you. Yeah, that was Shaun White.
Oh, was that what you were talking about, Enchanted?
No, I was speaking of a Tony Hawk game I rebought recently because I couldn't remember if it was much good. It was like Project 8 or something like that, but it had this kind of the 3 different routes to the game. It had the career path, the tricking path or something like that, and then it had the make your own stuff path. And there was like this stuff where it's like, okay, each path you have your own different things you can do. It's like, okay, here you can put down a couple of kick plates, but on either side of this car and trick over the car now, that kind of stuff.
I mean, the thing about a good extreme sports game, and to a lesser extent, other genres, is developer intended routes should feel rewarding to the player because it feels like the player's intuiting it or coming up with the idea on their own. You know, they should leave enough hints for us to come up with the solution they want us to come up with, but it should still be something that the player feels like they came up with, instead of like, okay, well, now that I've figured out this horrendous pathing that the developers intended me to take, you know, now let me try to, like, I don't know how many jumps it's going to take because the camera's not working with me. And then finally when you figure it out, it's like, okay, now what? You know, also, now what does the developer want me to do?
Notice how much time this gave me, 4 minutes. I need every second of that 4 minutes. This is what I mean by these challenges getting really long.
Yeah.
But I mean, what was I even trying to say? Like, this game has those like lines you'd invent as lines it actually wants you to do, and while you're doing them you go, who would do this?
Like when would I ever notice that this thing is there? If it wasn't like there wasn't a big glowing arrow pointing to it.
Well, that's one thing I kind of like, is it kind of feels realistic in that it's not just specifically laid out lines that are that obvious. It feels like an actual place that you do. You know what I mean? Though, like, I think that's probably what they were going for.
I think sometimes when you're watching parkour, you can see. I'm saying when you're watching. Obviously, I don't do any parkour. But I mean, you can see that there are some things where it's like, that's an obvious.
Like they put that there so they could do something on it.
And I never feel that way watching this game. I feel like every single line seems kind of hidden. every part of every line just feels kind of like, where do we go?
Unless it's really obvious, it seems hidden. You know, like in the docks, you know, jump across container to container. Okay. And then in this level, like, jump off at like a 70-degree angle to land on this sideways railing or something. You know?
The camera in these construction areas here is terrible because of all the buildings being that close together. And some of them are too far apart to do the special jumps up them, but too close together to reliably do tic-tacs between them. Like Dalton saw me flailing at earlier.
Yeah. Oh, wait, this is that song that goes running, running, running.
I believe so, yes.
How many songs were in the soundtrack?
The playlist I saw had 23.
Before it crashed the video, yeah.
So, I mean, it wasn't hard to find. I just searched free running OST.
Yeah.
Maybe you can put a link in the description or something.
Yeah.
If anybody's interested in the soundtrack. Honestly, the songs in this game haven't been awful.
Yeah,
really
some of them are pretty fun to listen to. Like
yeah,
that one I pointed out in the warehouse, I quite like.
I could enjoy them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you mean with the timer. You were like really outpacing it for a while, and now it's just slowed down.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, what's the best
down.
way to recover from the mistake I've just made is a lot of this one.
But
I got a bronze on this one, I was like, I'm fine, I'm not doing this again.
Yeah, like, I don't know, like, that shouldn't be the key focus, because that's just frustrating.
Yeah. But on this file, just for the record, I did get a gold on this record, just not this recording.
Right.
Because it's really hard to get a gold on this particular one, and it's a nightmare and really annoying to do.
That's, yeah.
Alright.
Alright. 4 minutes you were given in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez.
I don't know, I just feel like things aren't really flowing that well.
Yeah.
Still. Yeah, the final level's much better for that, but it still has areas like that.
Yeah.
It's like each line is composed of either like just trick after trick after trick after trick that's just in a row, like really tight spacing. And then or it'll be like here's a thing and there's a thing and you can go any direction. Like you can go do whatever you want to get between the two. But what's in between them is just like open space and like a pole, and it's like there's no reason to use anything other than your feet to get around.
I think it was probably a balance issue, like probably the way of how to make the difficulty scale up. So in the first 3 levels you have really obvious routes, really easy lines to do. It's like, okay, I need to go here. And then the next set of 3 levels, it's like, okay, this is more interesting. Still fairly obvious routes, sometimes it can be tricky to figure out. And here it's just like, oh, we need to make this hard, let's make it less obvious. I think I feel it's probably how that went. It probably they were trying to make it harder, but not thinking about it in the right way.
You know, that makes sense, because that middle third of the game, they had a better balance between
the middle third of the game
then
is the best part of the game by far, because it's the most interesting, but also the lines are visible and there.
You're right.
Yeah.
The camera isn't working against you, because the stuff is far enough apart that you can see it, but close enough together that you can interact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These crash test things are still pretty funny.
Yeah.
Bee's knees!
I love how much fun the announcer's having, especially on the ass grind!
Yeah.
Is that the way he says that? Like, he knows it's a stupid word, so he says it in the dumbest way possible. I'm not sure if that was a directorial thing, if he was told to do it like that, or if he just felt it would be funnier.
Do you think they had directorial oversight? I mean...
Well, they had a narrator, that implies they had voice acting as well, that implies them to be the voice director of some form. Even if it was just
they could have also just called up some guy and been like, hey, can you do this? And he was like, okay, I'll record it at home.
I'll steal that shit. Record it in my own
there are voice actors who do their work from home with a home recording stuff, and then they just send it in.
Like me.
Well, like Insetic.
One thing that's kind of a shame here is there's no way to go out of bounds over that fence. Like, you can't even blow yourself over that fence to go out of bounds with a mannequin, so... Yeah, that camera got a bit weird.
Yeah. Feet and hands, they couldn't come up with something for that?
Maybe extremities might have worked.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, I don't know.
Limb loss.
You know, just a random thing that reminds me of...
Limbo! That might have worked, Limbo.
Yeah.
Of all the things that the game Freak Style was just average at, it was pretty good at coming up with witty combo names.
Yeah,
that's
involving
true.
stuff. So, you know, maybe they could have borrowed some of those.
This seems to be kind of the inverse of Freak Style. Pretty poor trick names, but really fun actual tricks to do.
Yeah.
I was robbed there. I should have got that explosive.
Oh shit! Those fireworks come right out of his butt.
Yeah.
That's why the butts are sculpted.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's a box.
Dynamite blasts to keep it perfectly in shape.
I would think dynamite blast would ruin the shape. And now
No,
you're just
his butt is made of diamond.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then why do you need dynamite?
That's how they sculpted it. It's like Mount Rushmore. You blow away all the debris that's not the part of the final sculpture.
Yeah.
It's just constantly exploding into a more perfect art as the game goes on.
Yeah. So that was the building site. Next up, we're heading to the final level.
Oh boy.
The high rise.
The high rise.
It seems to be kind of... That one feels kind of like a mirror of the first level. You'll see why when you see it.
Alright.
Alright.
See you guys then.
See ya.